Hey guys, welcome back to Salem, Cellar. So opening weekend, I went to see Speak No Evil. I want to talk to you guys about it. I need to talk to you guys about it. I'll be right back. So you guys know I often don't get to go to the theater to see a film. I usually have to wait for it to stream. But I made a huge effort with this film. After that trailer, I'm like, okay, I'm sold. I need to watch this movie. Now, this is a remake from a Danish film that was released in 2022. I've never seen that movie. I've heard things about it, but I've never seen it. So I went into this just with the trailer, just kind of like, didn't really know exactly what was going to go on from what I've seen in that trailer. So some people are going into this completely aware of this story and what to expect. So what this movie is about, a family is invited to spend a whole weekend in a lonely home in the countryside. But as the weekend progresses, they realize that a dark side lies within the family who invited them. Now, this was directed by James Watkins and written by James Watkins, and it's starred by James McAvoy and Mackenzie Davis. Now, this is a psychological drama, and it's rated R. So the trailer, I was completely hooked. I'm like, okay, this looks intense. I'm a big fan of James McAvoy. He is completely unhinged in his movies, except the X-Men movies, the First Class, and then the newer films. He's a calm man. But if you've watched Glass or Split, you know he can just become like insane. So from the trailer, I'm like, okay, sold. I'm in that seat with just knowing the plot and that James McAvoy is in this. So I saw it on Saturday. I think it was released Thursday. And the movie theater was pretty empty, which is usually the case in my area. It's a very small town. So first, right off the bat, I was pulled into the story. The acting was really good. And I kind of knew what to expect right away. My biggest disappointment about this film is that pretty much everything you see in the trailer, all the suspenseful moments, all the insane moments, were the insane suspenseful moments in the movie. They didn't give us much else. Like, it was pretty much an extended version of the trailer. That was upsetting. You didn't have to show us every cool thing that happens, every unhinged scene that happens. Like, you would have gotten us in this seat with just a little bit of the plot and James McAvoy. Like, honestly, right? Because that's what was getting me in that seat. So I was kind of bummed that the entire movie, like anything that was just like, oh my God, I saw in the trailer. I was just like, okay, you guys just showed way too much. But that didn't take away that this is actually a really good film. Like I said, the acting was really good. The story was interesting. The ending was not so much of it was not an insane ending that I heard about as far as the original film, but we'll get into that later. So I'm going to just throw out some spoilers. So James McAvoy in this film is completely like out of his freaking mind. And the more you watch him, the more you're like, oh my God, I am never going to talk to people I don't know while I'm on vacation. Like, he is just completely like crazy. His wife, perfect. They just go together so well, but you feel bad for their child, which I'm pretty sure his name is Ant. I could be wrong. I'm assuming it's short for Anthony. But you just see things unravel throughout the film, and you're waiting for this insane twist at the end. And it just, again, the twist was in the trailer. So you're not getting much else. So it was kind of just like, okay, we know these people aren't his parents. I assumed right off the bat that they kidnapped this child because, in that scene in the trailer, remember when he opens his mouth wide open and you see nothing, and he does they cut my tongue out. So that scene would have been so crazy to watch it for the first time in the theater. It was just like, okay, I expect that to happen. But, you find out what they're doing to this family, this crazy couple, is what they've been doing to families throughout. Now, they're just not crazy people. They're doing this for financial gain. They're taking their money, they're taking their car, they're selling their car. They're just doing all of this for money and for fun. They get a kick out of it. One guy quotes, he's like, I don't understand, why you do this, why you go through this. You just could have just killed him right away. I don't get why you like to play with your food. And it's a game for him. It's a game for this couple. But you also find out, well, I don't think they actually confirm it 100%, but his wife, but they pretty much do, I guess. His wife in this film, James McAvoy's character, was one of his original victims. They mentioned that they've been together, I think, for 16 or 17 years. She's visibly pretty young. I don't think James McAvoy looks old, honestly. Like, I don't think he looks like, this man in his 50s. But they insinuate, they pretty much, she says it, but you don't know if she's saying it to kind of like, trick this family, but she mentions that was his first victim and that she needs help. But it's just a case of he got his claws into her when she was young and just brainwashed her over the years. But that's kind of creepy and horrible and disgusting. And he even makes a comment throughout the movie, at the end of the movie, and he says, like, I'm going to take your daughter now and pretty much do the same thing. She's going to comfort me, whatever that freaking means, weirdo. And she's just going to be my bitch now, and keep in mind, this girl, I think she's like 11. She's a baby. It's just weird, but it's not a dark ending. Little Ant was the boy who was their child, the one with the tongue removed. He kills James McAvoy. He basically smashes him with a brick. He's like, okay, I'm not going to let you live. You abused me, you cut off at my tongue, and you killed my parents. You're gonna die. And at the very scene, you see them in the car, and it's a close up to Ant, and you see he just looks so messed up in the head. His eyes are watery. He just looks like, has he snapped? Is he going to go this path that this couple that ruined his life went? Now, the only reason I think that is because a few times during the movie, they talk about how parents mess you up. Parents screw you up. Parents make you who you are. So was that kind of like a hint that they made this little boy into what he's going to become? Is he going to become a serial killer? Not necessarily kidnapping kids, but maybe just killing people, because now it's easy. He did his first kill, so now is it going to come natural to him? Like, that would be cool. I know they did a remake for this, but it would be really cool to do a time jump, see where the little girl from this film ends up and where Ant ends up. I think that would be really interesting. But overall, I did really enjoy this film. So I didn't watch the original, but I really, really want to watch it now. What I heard about the ending about that movie, now this is a spoiler if you didn't watch the original. I read about it. I probably shouldn't have, but it made me want to watch it even more, because I'm like, why am I going to watch the same movie over again? I just watched this film. Why am I going to literally just watch it happen again? The ending for the original film. Now, the remake, the family lives, they survive, they are screwed up for the rest of their lives, but in the original film, the family does not get away. They end up cutting the little girl's tongue out and taking her as their own, and then kill the parents. Now, what is darker than that? That is so messed up. So at least now when I watch the original film, I'll know to expect that. But boy, that's a lot. I'm almost happy that this movie didn't end that way. Part of me likes that kind of drama, not a happy ending. And then a part of me is like, that would have just mentally drained me. That would have just been a lot. So I'm kind of half and half. Out of a 5, I would give this movie a 3.5. I really did enjoy it. I think if it had a more darker ending, I would have given it a 4. Just because it's just not something we're expecting. I wouldn't have expected the little girl to become their next victim. I would have expected them to drive off into the sunset, which they did, but seeing her get her tongue cut out. Oh, and their child in the original film, they kill him. Yes, he doesn't survive. I don't know if his name's Ant in the original film, but let's call him Ant just anyway. poor aunt doesn't survive. He ends up being killed by his parents. So yeah, they need another child to work. Basically, they're just, I don't know. I feel like they're obsessed with having their kids, and they're waiting for the perfect child, but no child will be perfect to them because they're insane. But they use this kid to make it seem like, hey, we're a happy family. Come visit us, in the woods where you have no service and there's nobody around for miles. Bugged out and crazy, but I definitely need to. I think it's streaming on Prime, if I'm correct. So I'm going to be watching it this weekend. I'm so excited. If you have not seen this movie, I recommend that you see it. It's worth seeing it in the theaters. If you didn't see the trailer a bunch of times, even better, because then you won't remember exactly what you're going to see, except if you watch this whole video and I just spoiled it for you. Oh, maybe. But either way, it's a good movie. The casting was great. I have no complaints with that. My biggest complaint was that the trailer showed most of it, and also that it didn't have a super dark ending. If you've seen this movie, comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this film, or if you plan on seeing it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be right back.